All right, welcome. So today I'm going to talk about the 5 key lessons that I have learned as an online remote coach for fitness. All right, and a little bit about my background first and foremost. So I started training around 12 years old. By the age of 16, I was able, to get a few gains, get a few results before, realizing that I wanted to be a personal trainer. Studied sports and exercise science at college, which then transpired at university. All the while I had trained part-time and then became a part-time personal trainer, later fitness manager, before graduating university and then taking my career and work fully online, remote. And today I just want to share, some insight to what you can actually expect as being a fully remote online coach. Okay, so lesson number 1 is the importance of goal setting. Now, we all know and have heard about SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound, which are obviously very, very important. But we can actually go a little bit deeper than that. And as an online coach, it's important to think about the outcome versus the process goals as well. Meaning being, outcome-based goals, we're focusing on the end result, whereas the process goals are the small actionable steps that are actually going to get you to that end goal over the long term. It could be a case that someone is looking to lose 50 pounds over the course of a year, but how are they actually going to get up to that 50 pounds? What small actionable steps do they really need to take? Secondly, long versus short-term goals. So focus on the love for the journey as opposed to the outcome itself, all right? Like I say, if you're looking to lose 50 pounds in a year, you need to break that down into smaller, bite-sized goals that is going to equate to that big leap, that big jump over the course of time. And as well, one thing about goal setting is not just focusing on the body compositional goals. You want to have extrinsic motivations, other factors that your clients can work on that is going to allow them, to stay motivated and to stay accountable and to keep, monitoring and tracking their progress, such as running a marathon. What is going to take you to up to that point? It could be running interval-based runs, it could be treadmill intervals, it could be threshold runs. There are so many different things that you can track when it comes to people's paces, to people's endurance, to people's fitness, so they can actually see themselves getting fitter throughout the process, alongside, of course, seeing the body compositional goals as well. And last thing for SMART goals, or the importance of goal setting, is the accountability and tracking progress, which is so important when it comes to people's accountability, to understanding what level of support that person actually needs and how they can, continue to get better and remain resilient. Okay, lesson number 2 is that not everybody trains the way you train. When I first started as a coach, would think that everyone would train at the same intensity, but people have different levels of injury, different experience levels, ability levels, different preferences and needs when it comes to their experience so far. So it's super, super, super important to understanding what that client actually wants, but what also they need as well. What cardio preference they prefer, if they have had experience doing CrossFit or conditioning, or is it been more strength and hypertrophy, if any at all. You've got people that are on the novice end of the spectrum and people at the elite end of the spectrum. I've had the experience, like I say, of being a one-to-one PT in person in the gym, so that gives a lot of tools and knowledge when it comes to guiding people in an in-person setting and being able to gauge based off their first initial questionnaire and that first initial call or chat what it is you're going to program and what it is you're going to plan for that individual that's going to be suitable for the information that they have given you for around, what it is they actually need. So lesson number 3 is progress over perfection. Progress will not always be linear. Clients will have setbacks, they will have bad weeks, they will have weeks where they do fall off track, where they binge, they have takeaways, they have drinks on the weekend, and they may remain stagnant for a week, which can obviously be very demotivating for the client and oftentimes frustrating as a coach. But this is also very important and sometimes necessary for people and clients to go through, because it's such an important factor when it comes to resilience building, all right? Because, plateaus provide further down the line that perseverance and further drive and motivation to actually get the job done. Clients develop the resilience to overcome obstacles by experiencing plateaus, so they know where it is they need to improve in the future. That's why we set realistic expectations. So, if you're aiming to lose 2 pounds throughout the week and you're able to hit that, then you're on the right trajectory, you're on the right path, and it's progress. It's not perfection. All right. And again, it's the small steps and the small bits that are going to account to that big jump, that big leap over the course of time. And this is obviously a pivotal area for us as coaches to identify areas for improvement through checking in, through accountability on what they might need to do in the future that is going to account and help them manage, their training, the nutrition better, so they're able to, understand on a deeper level the things that might have been holding them back in the past. And the last thing around progress not being perfection is around non-scale victories. Non-scale victories, you could be improving your strength, you could be improving your energy, you could be improving your confidence, your self-esteem, your overall quality of life that you're experiencing. These are all often things that are unforeseen and things that are forgotten about because we're so fixated on that short or long-term goal when it comes to the weight and the body composition. So make sure you focus on some element of progress and identify those wins overall. We don't aim for perfection. So lesson number 4 is communication is king. And what do I mean by that? So the guys that I've worked with, 9 out of 10 times, they will not achieve any sort of transformation if they are not communicating, if they're not checking in. It's important to have effective communication in coaching. Otherwise, we're left in the dark. Communication bridges the gap between coach and client relationships. And if we don't know if there is a certain element of training or nutrition that needs amending, then we're not going to know, and we don't know what additional support you feel as though you might need as a client. And encourage active listening, empathize and understand when you're having phone conversations with a client, when you're texting back and forth. Ensure that you're building an actual strong relationship with that person. It's not always just about the training, or just the nutrition or the mindset. It's important to build a stronger relationship, when you're trying to, build a successful transformation from the whole coaching program that you're both, working towards. All right. And of course, encourage the importance of regular communication, checking in on time, making sure things are, known that need to be amended, keeping accountable. And this is obviously going to lead to greater motivation, greater engagement with the program or with yourself as a coach, and ultimately, greater discipline and resilience with their training and nutrition to know that you've got their back. So the last thing is to not be too serious with your clients all the time. And what do I mean by that? Not just seeing your clients as an acquaintance or a working relationship, actually trying to build a genuine friendship, meeting up for coffees, meeting up to train, having regular phone calls is going to build that ultimate connection between coach and client relationship, which is again going to keep the client motivated and on board, and your retention is going to increase tenfold by doing so. So make sure you focus on communication above all. So 5th and finally, last but not least, lesson number 5 is prioritizing your own time, making sure you are managing your time effectively and efficiently. It's easy to blur the lines between work and personal life. Sometimes when I first started as an online coach, I'd be up till 10 p.m, 11 p.m, sometimes even midnight, messaging, responding to clients and making updates to things, because you have that mindset of trying to be a perfectionist because we're so passionate about what we do. But I learned that the hard way, so you don't have to. Time management, allows for better productivity when you're actually doing work, and it allows you to set clear boundaries, set clear working hours, and minimize the distractions, when you're actually in the zone. You've got that schedule, you've got that time committed and set aside to do the work that you've set aside to do. So guys, make sure you like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed my first YouTube video and this style of content. I'm hoping to do a lot more like this, so make sure you follow all my socials and subscribe to this page. Watch.